Hello, everybody, and welcome. I am Glenn from Fun King 3D. Welcome to Fun in My Rural Upstairs. Gotta say, I'm a little sad at this point, missing my basement dweller, my country dweller. But I'm here, and it's going to be really weird to not have those two to talk to. I got a little bit of echo. Give me a second. I didn't realize that set of speakers was on, and I was hearing myself, and that was a little bit annoying. So, hello, everybody, and how are you guys? Got Tom in here, and Sergio. Felipe's here, and Scott. Hi, guys. Small turnout, but it's all right. I'm only a little bit hurt. So I hope everybody is doing well. I don't really want to talk about, that big thing that's looming over all of us right now. So I'm going to avoid that subject in its entirety if possible, and just concentrate on the wonderful things that are happening right now in the world. You may or may not end up hearing my wife's sewing machine running in the background. I didn't want to stop her because she is making masks for some of the healthcare facilities locally. So if you hear that, that's why. So, but sort of last minute-ish notice. What are you talking about? I posted something hours ago, man. And technically, I warned you guys, like, was it 3 weeks ago now? I know that I was going to stream last week and didn't. I just didn't have the motivation to do it. I was kind of going through a slumpy period, but I feel better now. So I see a lot of you guys creeping in here. That's good. That's good. I have some. I can't really release the news, but I have some news that I have some news. There will be a video coming out this week that's going to release a big secret. So that's really all I can tell you, because the video has to be the thing that releases the secret. So as of right now, that's all you're going to get is a teaser for the release that should be coming out sometime this week. So it's a big step. It's a big step in a different direction than I ever wanted to take with Fun King 3D, but I think it'll be worthwhile. And I think that the groundwork that we have laid up until now has been sufficient. And so yeah, that's exciting. It is really weird. It is really weird to be back in front of the camera and not having somebody to directly talk to. And I mean, I know you're there, and I can see the I can see the comments, and I can read the comments, but it is still very weird to not have Chris and or Walter in front of me to have somebody to speak to. So that's weird. And of course, not having, Zach or Xander sitting with me to speak to directly. So this is taking me way back to the roots of the beginning. Fun King 3D is just about to turn 3 years old. And so that's a little weird. I should also preface all of this with the studio computer is facing lockup issues again, and I have not been able to pinpoint what it is yet. I think it has something to do with either a driver or a piece of software running on there, because it passes all hardware diagnostics fine. If I boot it up but don't log in, it won't lock up. But as soon as I'm logged into Windows and something is running, I don't know what it is, but whatever it is, when it's running in the background, then it ends up locking up just randomly. So I kind of have a safeguard in place. Should my machine lock up and I don't know if it'll cut my feed, but I have my other computer logged in right now with just a desktop image, just my Fun King logo. So if I disappear or if I stop talking and just freeze, like so, hopefully that will safety net me to where I can reboot this machine and get back in. So yeah, all right, so let's see what's going on. Tom said last week y'all gave up on me. Yeah, I don't know. I just couldn't do it last week. So, but it's the FK1 resin. No, it actually has nothing to do with the FK1. Though that almost came back upstairs today, but I had to shoot the video that's getting released this week, so I didn't end up having time to get the FK1 back up here. But the table is cleaned off. The FK1 table is cleaned off and ready for it to come back up. I've had to start moving some stuff around in here again because I now have 2 children that are at home homeschooling, and I work from home. And one of those 2 kids, and I'll let you guys figure out which one it is, one of those 2 kids does not ever stop talking. So those two sit very close to each other. So we're actually moving Xander. Xander's desk is going to be opposite of where the camera is right now in that space. So I'm moving a bunch of stuff around, but yeah. So make it soon. We all need more content. I'm going to try to have it out by like midweek. So I have to finish editing and all of that. But I have other obligations tomorrow night. I got to do breaks on a car for a friend. So maybe I'll be able to get it edited out Tuesday. So maybe like Wednesday or Thursday. So Shalom said, I don't need a crutch. I have this. It's not really that they're a crutch. It's just weird just talking to myself again, after so long of not doing it. So, and I know I'm not really talking to myself, I'm talking to you guys, but it's just weird because you're not here. So, which is good, social distancing. Is it the start of the Unfun King channel? Thank you, Jay Griffiths. I appreciate that. We are all knock on simulated wood, healthy and well so far. We have been avoiding public as much as possible, and I've realized that it's much like my day-to-day life. I know that there's a lot of jokes and memes going around out there about how this whole social distancing thing, like people realize that it didn't really change their life, but as introverted as I am, it really didn't change my life. Now, yesterday I did go to pick up some dinner, some curbside takeaway from the Chick-fil-A. And that was the first time that I had been out into public in about 2 weeks. So even like driving felt weird. And then kind of to tell a story to go with that, and I know this isn't really 3D printing related, but when are my live streams ever 3D printing related? I've been playing Fallout 4 again. I picked up Fallout 4 again, and which is post-apocalyptic, and so all of a sudden I go outside for the first time in 2 weeks, and I'm driving around, and there's no traffic, and so then all of a sudden there's a guy walking down the side of the road, and my brain's like, oh, that guy shouldn't be out here. He's going to get eaten by something. So you got to be careful the things that you combine. Hello, Martin. Things here locally are hanging in there. We're actually doing pretty well here. So Windows hates everyone. It's not personal. Oh, this local rash of Windows 10 updates have been just problem after problem. You know how to fix the computer, replace it with a Mac. I just need to replace it with Linux, and then I won't have that problem anymore. Hello, Sean. Just one of them. It's not Xander. No. No. Well, I mean, Xander does make a lot of noise and talk a lot, but Zach just doesn't stop. Whew. Hope he's not listening. Sean, I will reach out to you and let you know. Stop putting questions in version now. Socially acceptable. Yeah, no doubt, right? Finally, the introverts win. Oh my God, you still have my love letter? Yeah, I have one. I have one up there. I have this one, and then oh yeah, it's just kind of sagged down. I still have this one as well. I'm a collector. I don't throw things away. Eaten by a crew. Are you doing a Murph 2020 special / virtual? Well, now, again, because I procrastinate everything, but I know that my friends over at Slice Engineering are working on a VRF, a VRRF, and I got an email about it yesterday, so I will be looking into that. I didn't realize that I had a buddy here. Oh, woof woof. Well, actually, you're more accurate than you know. She will shake hands for a treat, and she plays fetch. So she's more like a dog than a cat. So what has been going on in the 3D printing world, other than everybody scrambling to print face masks? If I so inclined to get a little motivation, I printed a new wind mouth for the AM8 to see if that's what's causing the problem with the nozzle cooling down. But I have a feeling that it's a power issue. But thank you, Sean. We miss you too, brother. I will definitely send that along to them. But yeah, I'm thinking that maybe the power supply is getting weak on that thing, and that's what's that it's just not strong enough to keep running the heat block when the fan kicks in. But I printed a more standard wind mouth. The one that was on there was a full circle, and it did. In fact, let's bring you over here. It did get a little hot. There's a little discoloration there, but I don't know why that would cause the problem that I'm having. So I do not have a silicone sock on it. It's a MK8 block, which I don't have a heat sock that'll fit that. So, and I could get some Kapton tape and insulation, but never had much luck with the ring style wind mouth. Well, I've actually been running that. That's been on there for a couple of years now. In fact, I put this one on there. No, I was almost told a lie. I was going to say I put this one on there as soon as I turned that into the AM8, but that's not true. The one I had on there fell off in the middle of a print. The print gummed up, and it actually absorbed the wind mouth right into the print. So this was a recreation, but it's been on there for a long time. It's been on there. Well, in fact, it was printed on my Prusa back when I had the smooth PEI sheet. So well over a year ago. So, hey, Patrick. Martin says his Prusa MK 2.5S getting min temp errors without a sock after the S upgrade with a new part cooling design. So yours is like mine then, where the fan sticks out forward. I run a sock. I don't think I have a sock on there right now. I don't know why I say that, but Yeah, I typically run a sock on that thing, but Gulf Coast Robotics has socks to fit most MK8 block styles. Yeah, I've been toying around with putting a E3D V6 on my AM8 and getting rid of that whole extruder assembly. But again, that printer works so well. I'm afraid to change anything on it. So yeah, 45 degrees on the fan. Yeah, something to do with the wind mouth on that as well. Like it doesn't really direct the air. It just kind of jets it all the way around. So I wasn't actually planning on any guests today. Definitely something that I'd want to do in the future. So my plan with these streams, and I will do better about having more topics in the future. But my plan with these streams are to always run them through StreamYard, just so that if the need arises to pull a guest in, I can. It reminds me one night when I was doing the stream, Xander and I were streaming, and there's a guy, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of him, but his name's Joel. He goes by the 3D printing nerd. But all of a sudden he sent me a message and he's like, send me a link and let me come in. And I'm like, I'd have to kill the stream and restart it. And he's like, well, do it. And I'm like, okay. So yeah, you never know who's going to pop in. So I don't have any issues with guests. I always try to live by the old saying, if it ain't broke, leave it alone. Well, and that's why I haven't bothered to put the MMU2 on my Prusa yet, because again, it works so well. It is dialed in perfectly for PETG. I just don't want to take a chance of messing anything up. So like, and I do have a brain fog. A mosaic palette. I couldn't remember who made the palette. Palette 2 that's going to go on the FK1. So I will be able to do multi-material and multi-color. So I don't really need it on the Prusa. Hello, DT Mash. Oh yeah, it's very weird. It's very weird. There was a lot of anxiety punching that button up today, and I was gonna go ahead and run the FKB intro of the guy falling down the stairs. I was gonna start that and then like cut it off halfway through and go, nope, wrong intro. But I decided not to. Yeah, the sad part is I haven't really talked to Chris or Walter much since the last FKB stream. That was kind of our forceful way of talking to each other all the time. So now I'm just alone with all of you guys, of course. Oh, and then let's see if I can pull this up and share this. I was going through some old files, deleting out some old files, and this one will see if I can throw this up. Except for StreamYard's being a little weird. How many people remember that guy? I don't even know why I saved that screenshot. But when that came up, and then I looked over at the chat and seen like Tony Ryan and Gusner and Bob in there and Robo Friven, like Don, like these people that have been around since my beginning. It's like, oh my gosh, that's so funny. Yep, good old Nilla Be. If you say his name 3 times, he'll appear in the chat. Yep, his streams is what got me started in all this. He's the reason that I finally decided on a Prusa printer over all the others. I actually was looking at a Folger Tech was the one I decided I wanted to go with, and then started watching Nilla, and I'm like, nope, the Prusa, that's the one that I want, even though it was more money, but it was worth it. So, but yeah, and I've told Nilla before to his face. I mean, I've never seen him, but like in chat and stuff, that he was the inspiration for my whole YouTube channel. So, in fact, if you look back at some of my earlier videos, the way that I had set my studio area up resembled his, because I was mimicking him, so. I've been playing with a laser this weekend. I need something cool to cut. Okay, so what kind of laser and what's it capable of cutting? Because there's all kinds of cool stuff you can cut. If you can cut aluminum, which I guess that one's the hard one, but I know that there was, I just ran across a really cool project where somebody cut a drone frame out of aluminum, which was pretty cool. 3D print Viking in the house, mimicking even his hairstyle. Yeah, I gotta have the stuff on the side though. I can't go totally Nilla for the hair. So .5 watt blue laser sadly will not cut anything shiny or blue. Apparently it requires, and I'm not a laser guy. I don't know much about laser, but I had sent Travis some information back when I started designing the FK1. I was going to have him print cut my Y carriage back when the Y moved on that thing, and he wasn't sure if his laser would do it. And he's got a big laser, and I sent him some aluminum to try it, and it just wouldn't do it. So it requires a certain kind of laser because the aluminum dissipates the heat so quickly. So my hair reminds you of the earth. Land on the sides, water in the middle. Yeah, I've shaved my head completely a couple of times, but it just radiates too much heat when I sleep at night. I have to have that little bit of insulation there, so. What? Oh, she's got toys. She wants to play. I cut some 1/8 inch black acrylic, 1/16 inch balsa, 1/16 inch basswood, and 1/8 inch plywood. See, that would be, I could have a good time with that. I could have a good time cutting acrylic. Is that the thickest acrylic that it'll cut? Is 1/8 inch? Wow, hard to believe that I've been 3D printing for 3 years now. Well, we started right about the same time then, because I think is it April or May? I don't even know my birthday anymore. I mean, I know my birthday. I just don't know Fun King's birthday. But I can cheat because the day we created Fun King, I created my my Twitter account. April 27th will be 3 years. It fits me well. Like I have another choice. That's all right. I can always wear my crown. Just wear my crown and cover it up. My crown that I got from Uncle Ron. I don't know if it'll cut thicker. That's all I had on hand. Nilla Be opened up a tabletop gaming store. I guess they also do some video games too, but in his hometown, he opened a brick and mortar business. So he still pops in once in a while. Martin says in June, he's 3 years in. Yeah, it's like that was when there was a big surge of people who started, and it was like everybody that bought a 3D printer also started a YouTube channel at the same time. But it's funny because, like I'm bad with names anyways, but once in a while I'll think about somebody, I'll go, oh, whatever happened to so and so, and they're just gone. They just gone. Eight years starting with the original printer bot. That's pretty awesome. Hello, 3D printing and painting. Yeah, I would love to have a laser that would cut acrylic, but there's a lot of tools that I need before I need that. It was the ANET A8 days back then. That is true. I think that nails it right on the head, Patrick. Hi, Paul Cumber. I'm doing well. How are you doing? No, I'm completely not unhappy that I bought my ANET A8. I'm also completely not unhappy that I turned it into an AM8. It is just way more stable. Yeah, gonna hang out over here. Oh, I guess I can't slide her up, then you can't see her. I learned this trick from Martin. You get cats on your stream, and then more people tune in. Well, that's good to hear, Paul. Are the three going to restart the MakerBox shows? MakerBox still comes out once a month. Usually right at the end of the month. In fact, ours will be coming out fairly soon. Yeah, unfortunately, MakerBox is only a once a month thing. I love the excitement of that box. There's no question about that. So, Fun Cat 3D. Have to update your keywords. Oh yeah, I cheated. I totally cheated and used. I used TubeBuddy. If you have a YouTube channel and you don't use TubeBuddy, you're missing out a great deal. There's so many great tools inside of TubeBuddy, but one of the tools is that it lets you just like apply templates, and I absolutely used the template for Fun in the Country Basement. So yeah, there's I'm sure there's a few things in there that shouldn't be, but people looking for Chris Riley will show up at my stream. I can still ride his coattails even when he's not here. Just got mine yesterday, got my box Friday. Ours came Thursday. No, it was Friday, but then Xander didn't go out and get the mail and left it in there baking in the mailbox for 24 hours. And I have a big stainless steel mailbox. It's like an oven in there. So I hope the filament's not all stuck together. Yeah, Martin, if you guys don't know, Martin does a MakerBox Monday where he actually prints with the filament and tells you about it. We're going to start using the filaments on Xander's Thing Thursdays. As soon as I can get that kid motivated to do some Xander's Thing Thursdays. We stopped doing it because of scheduling issues between baseball and football and all this crazy stuff. And then now all of that's on hold, and yet we still haven't done it. So, but most of the models are picked from Thingiverse. And I don't know if you guys have been to Thingiverse lately, but they updated the interface, but failed to update the servers in which it lives. So it is so painful to use. So filament dehydrator mailbox. I didn't think about that. I wonder if that would work. I'll have to put a thermometer in there and see how hot it gets in there. Yeah, I love it when I get filaments that are impossible to print. Have to just blobs to show off in the video. Yeah, but you know what? That's okay. I mean, some of those filaments that come are completely not necessarily experimental, but some of them are really, really crazy filaments. So Michael Cassell says he hasn't gotten anybody's notifications in the past 48 hours. That sounds like YouTube. Now, in fairness, they did post that they have a limited amount of staff, and I'm sure notifications are sent out manually. It's just somebody that sits at a desk and it's like, oh, got to notify him. Oh, got to notify him. Oh, bite the hand that feeds you. Thing of worst. Yeah. Interesting discovery. If you spray the heat print shipping label on the maker box with alcohol, it turns blue. That is interesting. If you hit it with a heat gun, it'll turn black and then peel off really easy. I missed the jokes at the end of the show. That's the only reason people tune into Xander Sing Thursday, was just for the joke at the end. So Zach and I have been doing some side projects lately, and he's gotten to be a little bit more frontline on the camera. I don't know if you guys watched our Elegoo video that released. We have to release the function portion of it yet, but he enjoys being frontline, and he enjoys being in the action. But it's like shooting video with a honey badger. So yeah, we got to work through some things, but Xander was 10 when we started this, and Zach will be 9 in a week. We're about a week away from his birthday, April 8th. So but yeah, it's if you went to a honey badger and punched it in the face and then spent like the next 20 minutes trying to have a conversation with it, that's pretty much what it's like shooting the videos. I'm gonna have to try that. Of course, I don't want to waste alcohol right now. That's like hard to get. Oh. Yeah, this is definitely reminiscent of many years ago. I mean, you figure even when I first started doing my streams, I always had Xander. Oh, it would help if I unplugged the pie. I made sure that the power was out of it earlier, but I didn't make sure the pie was out of it. Now, this is not the factory power supply on this thing. I upgraded to a 30 amp power supply. I upgraded all the wiring on this to beefier wiring. It runs through a set of MOSFETs. And then, I don't know if I can show you. The focus is set for up close, but I did just kind of a regular nozzle, a regular wind mouth, like the one that comes on there, except for hopefully without the squeal that the factory one made. For those of you who don't own an A8, the way that they made the wind mouth, it stuck up just a little too far into the fan assembly and actually touched the blades. So when the fan would spin up, it would make this horrific noise. So Paul, yeah, the FK1 does print currently, but it is getting ready to get some of its life ripped out of it and recalibrated. For those of you who missed the beginning of the stream, I did say that I almost brought it in today. It almost made it back in onto its desk, but I had to shoot a video today. And that video is going to be a big announcement that is coming out, a direction that Fun King 3D has decided to go. And that video will be out sometime this week, but that's all I can tell you. The video has to be the thing that announces it. It has to be it's a big production. Balloons, cake. No, not really. Yeah, Carl. Michael had said the same thing, that he didn't get notifications. I've gotten some notifications today, but I don't think I've gotten any live stream notifications in a while. But who knows? With a lack of staff at Google's facilities right now, the androids might have taken over, and they don't want us to know. They don't want other humans to know about what humans are doing. Tell us now. Just gonna have to tune in. I'm hoping again. I got a commitment for tomorrow night. I gotta put brakes on the car tomorrow night, and then I'll probably edit it out on Tuesday and release it either Wednesday or Thursday. So, but FK2 confirmed. No, not until the FK1 is right. So we're here now doing early premiere. Nope. You just got to watch the video. We already went through the whole process of shooting it, and both kids are involved. And I need a paper towel to wipe this grease up. They would be mad if I released it early. So yeah, you guys just have to wait. No FK2, FK Mini. Well, James from Print and Play, my brother James, was actually going to release, I believe he called it the FK 0.1, because it was a tenth of the size or something, but he never ended up releasing it. Maybe one day in the future. All right, so get a longer USB cable here. I have on here some 3D Fuel Pro PLA, which if you guys have not tried 3D Fuel's Filament, it's awesome. And I just seen a tweet from them guys that that they have ramped up. They have ramped up their manufacturing because a lot of the companies right now, you can't get any of their filament. Like Protopasta, unfortunately, Protopasta has been forced to shut down, and so obviously you can't get anything from them right now. Printed Solid is still selling and producing filament, so you can get your filament there too. But so there's been these guys that can still, with the small enough teams and stuff that can still produce product, are doing so. So if you need some filaments, there's a couple of options for you, because I'm sure Amazon is not shipping any of their filament at a high rate of speed, because they're not going to consider it to be essential. Though if you want a Fire tablet device, that apparently is essential, because you can get that the next day. I had to order some parts for my wife to make these surgical masks that she's doing, and it was like half a week or so, and then one of them got delayed to almost a whole week. I think that's essential. But yeah, she just said it didn't matter. I printed her one, so within like 18 minutes, boom, had one in our hand. So awesome, Martin. Yeah, you'll like it. They've a project that Xander's about to do. They actually sponsored the project. I asked them for 2 rolls of filament, a black and a red, and they sent me 5 rolls of filament. So neat. Glenn just vanished off my screen. Did it delay? Like, was I here and then just gone? So again, full disclaimer, just in case you guys missed it in the beginning, this computer has been having some issues. It just randomly locks up. It has happened during live streams before. So what I did, being that I'm by myself today, I kind of built myself a fake safety net, and I'm logged in with my other computer in the background. So if I disappear and then we end up with just a screen like that one, then you'll know what happened. Or it'll just be me like, it was weird. You were standing and then faded out, but the audio kept on going. Well, I'm wireless. Everywhere I walk, I mean, the mic's with me, so everywhere I walk, if I go over to my other workbench, I keep talking. CW3D said, I finally took the plunge into resin printing and made the mistake of ordering one that comes with no resin. Well, let me tell you a story. 3 years ago, when I ordered this printer, I also did not order any extra filament. So I know where you're coming from, man. I don't even know why I didn't order filament when I ordered it. I'm like, yeah, whatever. I don't need no stinking filament. It's magic. Both boys are doing good, Paul. They're both now homeschoolers. It's a little rough on me, but what makes a 3D print stop printing? Oh, a lot of things. So give us a little bit more background on what's happening. Is it getting to a certain Z height and then just not printing anymore? Is it the same Z height every time you try? Does it happen every time you try? Can also get Gucci watches and sunglasses in 2 days off Amazon. They must have a good markup on them. That's why they're essential. Here in the state of Florida, I, working for a construction company, am also essential. Yeah. Who'd have thought? My wife says she's more essential now than she was before. Well, to me, you're always essential, honey. Oh, that's pretty funny, Carl. I'll have to go back and watch it, see what happens. Same Z height, just stops. Okay. Does it do it on every model or just the specific model that you're trying to print? Because it could just be a slicing issue. Maybe if you reslice that model. But if it happens on every model, then there's definitely something wrong with the printer, which could be like a wire with a break inside of it, or again, for anybody that doesn't, oh no, it's out in the tubs in the garage. For anybody that doesn't know, I won the crappiest print contest at Murph 2019 because my print failed halfway side to side, and it was because of a break in the wire. So is that same print, Paul? Try printing a different model or reslice that model and see what happens. Is there any way we could buy PETG filament with metal? Afterthought, wish I could pick all the scraps off the floor with a large magnet. It's a nightmare. I know you can get PLA with metal in it. Yeah, construction being essential is BS to me. I understand emergency work, but installing sidewalks and subdivision. Well, and that's it. Like the papers that I read, the orders that I read, it was pretty much the people like, if you're a maintenance man in a residential building, you're essential because if a pipe broke or that kind of stuff. But I don't think an estimator is essential. Shouldn't I have more time off? I mean, I appreciate continuing to get a paycheck though. So, I mean, I also strut around with my chest puffed out now that I'm essential. My wife has papers from her work stating she's essential personnel, LPN, in case they go to lockdown, that she can still get to work if she gets pulled over. Wow. Yeah, we haven't gotten to that point. Like, again, I was out yesterday for the first time in 2 weeks, and there was a lot less people out, but like Home Depot's parking lot was full. Target, not so much. The restaurant, like even our McDonald's, which is almost always busy, there was nobody there. So I don't know. We've gotten contact from the different GCs that we work with, and they're like, "Yeah, we're essential. We're continuing work," and we're all like, "Okay." So, but as long as the paycheck keeps coming in, that's the important part. So, and speaking of, for those of you guys who don't know, Sean Shenanigans is he's got a tweet out there. He is out of work because of all of this. They shut his business down. And he is still waiting for some kind of aid. So if you guys can help out, he has got a buy me a coffee link out there. He didn't ask me to do that. That was a shameless plug. You're gonna have to make up a new bingo game now. Paul, that could be the problem, man. That new Cura slicer has got some issues in it. Did when you installed? Oh, I didn't even know you were still here, Sean. I was trying to do that all on the down low. Paul, when you installed the new Cura, did it uninstall the old one? So, yeah, brother. I feel you, man. That's a bad spot to be in. So, we definitely, anything, and like I said, I'm sorry I couldn't do more for you. But we're always got to look out for family, man. Carl, there are no more FKBs. Did you miss that big announcement? Chris was all like, I don't want to do it anymore. And then Walter's like, well, I don't want to do it anymore either. And I'm like, well, I'm going to keep doing it by myself then. No, I know you didn't. Nobody ever wants to ask. I mean, it's always a hard spot to be in, to ask. But like if your choice is ask for help or starve to death, yeah, I think asking for help is a better option. So, but yeah, I'm looking for your link, man. I was gonna post the link up, and the way Twitter is. Tom says he's watching me stumble on while testing his spooler. I'm not stumbling. I'm only stumbling because I'm old. So a few weeks back, I had made a mention to you guys that there's Sean's link if you can help him out. I'd made a mention to you guys that one of the medications I was on, which is a statin medication, which is for cholesterol, was causing me to have memory issues. And I looked into it more, and depending on where you read, some papers said yes, and some papers said no, it's never been proven. And I read one by the Mayo Clinic that said absolutely. So I quit taking it. And within about 3 days, I noticed a massive difference. Now, this is going to sound a little ironic, but somebody had said in the chat that they were having that issue and they didn't think about their medication, but I can't remember who that was that said that. I was still on the medicine back then. But no, so if you're on a statin drug and you are having like foggy memory or just confusion, look into that, because yeah, it made a big difference. So yeah, FKB is officially not happening anymore for the foreseeable future. Not to say that we won't occasionally just get together and do one, but as a weekly stream in this particular time slot, it is not. Chris is just, he's got a lot going on. That guy produces so much content. I still think that his wife doesn't really exist, because no wife would put up with a husband that's that absent. But so he just decided that he needed to make some changes, and so he did. And one of those changes was cutting out Fun in the Country Basement. Well, at that point, Walter was kind of like, well, it runs into my weekend, which is true. I mean, pretty much as of Sunday mornings, my weekends are over. And I knew where they were coming from, but I like doing this. I like talking with you guys. I mean, you guys are like family to me, and to not have the opportunity to chit chat with you guys, at least once in a while, just wouldn't be acceptable. So I decided to keep the time slot. It was my time slot originally anyway. This was the spot where Xander and I used to stream before the FKB started. But so, and again, not to say that in the future we won't just randomly have an FKB if it works out, or maybe it would just be Chris and I, or Walter and I, or whatever. Whatever. So it was a mutual agreement. It was all fine. These left me. All right, now I'm behind. Resurrection of the Fun. That's right. Fun in my rural upstairs. Doesn't have the same ring to it, but old age was hurting my memory, so I quit aging. Well, see, Mike, that was a fear of mine. Was I thought that, I'm 47, and it's like, I can't be slipping that bad. So, and stupid stuff. Like, I was trying to explain it to somebody and couldn't even really think of the words to explain the problem that I was having. So, I'd be like, well, I'll be in the middle of a conversation and I can't remember somebody's name. And everybody's like, oh, I always do that. And I'm like, no, I mean, like, somebody important, like my kid, not really. But it was just like, I would lose a certain word, and not necessarily an obscure word, but, just like something pretty common, or, so then in my job, when I do a project and I move to the next project, I kind of intentionally have to push the old project out, but I can still remember what I did. Well, all of a sudden I got to the point where I would be 2 days out of that project. I can't remember anything about it. I'd have to go back and reference everything for questions, and it was foggy all the time. So it definitely wasn't just old age. So Dan Borio said, I believe that was me. I have been on many meds for all that. Well, if you're on a statin, I can't remember which one I'm on, but like Prevestatin, I think that's what I'm on, Prevestatin. But the statin drugs as a whole do have a side effect for not memory loss, but memory issues, I think is the way that it was phrased. I take fish oil and garlic for triglycerides. I do take fish oil as well, not as often as I should, but I didn't think about the garlic. I will look into that. I have foggy memory and confusion, but mine's just because I'm old. Well, and a little crazy. So, so do they switch you to a different med for the... No, Mike, I haven't actually spoken to my doctor about any of this, because this is all kind of taking place during this other crisis that we have going on. And so I just kind of self-doctored myself and quit taking it. I was only on it. I wasn't on it because I have high cholesterol. I was on it because I have diabetes, which can have problems with high cholesterol. So it was more of a preventative measure. So I've preventative taken it now. I've prevented myself from taking it. So, but yeah, it is a conversation that I will definitely be having with my doctor. So, because I don't want to go back on it. It's that big of a difference. So. Use it for a few weeks and the body gets used to the meds and clears up the memory. Nope, I've been on it for over a year. So, and I've been suffering from this for a long time. So again, and I can't remember if I've ever told this story. No, if you look at a drug side effect, it's generally listed from the most common down to the least common. So when I read the side effects, I always go to the bottom because those are the ones that I'm going to get. I always get the least common side effects. So, and then my favorite are the drugs that tell you, like I was taking a drug to stop acid reflux, and one of the side effects is it could cause acid reflux. So that just sounds to me like it doesn't work. And they're like, well, we'll just put the symptom as a side effect. Paul, definitely try that. If you don't have another slicer installed, try that and see if that's. But before you go through all that, try slicing out a different model. It could just be that. It could just be that model too. Try slicing out a different model and see if that fixes it. Well, I live in the country and I'm in a basement. Well, again, I know you came in a little bit later, Carl, but I'm not opposed to having some guests on here or getting a different team of people. I don't know. Like, I don't know what any of that's going to look like yet. This is still, the breakup is still very fresh. Just don't go full Nilla on us and then we'll be good. No, I won't go full Nilla. No, that hurt me when Nilla disappeared, man. It's like, I would watch those videos of him like walking around his gaming store, just like talking for an hour. I'd watch those videos just because I missed him so much. Again, when you're on this side of the camera, like the relationships are different. So, like, and you don't necessarily realize the impact that you have out there. I mean, I know that you guys would just be completely crushed if I just disappeared. Hello, Thunder 911. You like talking to us since we don't talk, yell back at you like the wife and family. Oh, Mad Mike, thank you, brother. Oh, because you didn't put any comment in there, so it didn't read anything. I was waiting for it to read something. Thank you so much for that. Yeah, Paul, I keep that cat right there. Ever since I got him, that's where he's lived, is right on that corner of that shelf, man. Carl Schumann says, I'm on zero drugs and it happens to me all the time. You have a bored cat 3D hit, fell asleep. Yeah, she's a napper during the day, but at nighttime, boy, whew. Dottie. My father-in-law gets short-term global amnesia if he's outside working hard, then comes in and takes a cold shower or eats a bunch of sugary foods. Oh, that's weird. You're still a youngster. I know, I'm definitely not old enough to be losing my mind yet. Cured my diabetes by going keto. I've heard that and I've considered it, but the meds that I'm on now, I'm taking the Trulicity shot once a week. It has dialed my numbers in beautifully, and I get to actually eat sugar occasionally, so it's pretty awesome. Chris Workagi said, my name is Chris and I'm in a basement. I also can sort of make Marlin work, but do you have a ponytail? Because that's really kind of that's the thing that really draws everybody in, is the ponytail. Yeah, I don't want to just be your rebound. Well, not only did I lose, my two partners in crime, I lost the logo because it was made up of all three of our logos. And, now it's like, Robbie Max is in the house. Sergio said he had to go for a few. Hope he didn't miss anything, but the wife made some really good tacos. Well, that's great. come in here bragging about your tacos and not bringing any for anybody else. What do you mean, son? What do you mean you'll fill in for the boys? We could be the fun night. FKB equals Fun King is back. Fun King babbles. I just drone on for 2 hours. I wasn't even sure if I should make these streams 2 hours long, but that's how long they were before Fun in the Country Basement started. There's my brother from another mother. Yes, James, there is no more Fun in the Country Basements. They have ceased to exist. It's just me now. But again, I'm going to run these streams through StreamYard so that if it comes that we need to add guests, we'll add guests. If I'm not entertaining enough. The thing is I don't have my punching bag Walter, so I can only pick on myself at this point. Okay, I feel like I told this story 19 times today. Pay attention, son. So Chris, Mr. Riley, is a very busy guy. And he just, he's been producing a lot of content and stuff, and then with work, and he just wasn't, his time management wasn't good. And so he decided that he wanted to, oh, you were pooping. So he decided that he needed to adjust some things. And one of those things was killing the stream on Sunday, because he's already streaming on Sunday mornings sometimes. So just put on the tape beard and argue with yourself. I actually don't know where it is, oddly enough. But so at the point that he kind of dropped that ball on Walter and I, that he was like, hey, I don't want to do it anymore. Walter was like, well, I don't really want to do it anymore either, which really came down to Walter likes to go to Disney, which is a long drive for him. It's 6 hours each way for him to get to Disney. So it's a weekend when he goes down. So it just got to be the fact that we were doing it every week. It just felt like it was eating up every weekend. Well, Disney is closed now. Yes, that's yes. So, but we actually opted to stop doing these before Disney closed. So then Walter was all like, "Oh, of course." I wish I could have been a fly on the wall at the point that he read that announcement, but yeah, it was just a time constraint thing. I opted to keep this time slot going because this was the time slot that I used before Fun in the Country Basement started, and it always worked well. It seemed like I always had a good crowd coming in. I would see viewership of 12 to 13 people at a time, and it was amazing to me. And which we have 45 in here right now. So, but I didn't want to give up the time slot. I like this time slot. You guys are all conditioned to come and watch this time slot. So I didn't want to just let it go and then have somebody else come swooping in and suck up my awesome time slot, So Glenn, Carl, and Chris. KCG. I don't know. I'll have to kick that around. So, but and then I said I again I don't mind guests or setting up with new people. What I don't want this to turn into is the Friday night 3D printing group. I don't want to take away what they do. I want it to be its own thing, So I don't want to step on any toes, I guess is really what it comes down to. So no, there's not officially time slots. It's just this time works. And then there are some people, Tom, that anytime we would take a Sunday off, man, he would just swoop in and be like, I'm in the time slot.
King and the Bearded Knight. That sounds like a really bad band name. But no, and it's funny too, because with I mean, Chris and Walter and we always had good chemistry together, but it was like we had three different audiences, not 100%. I mean, there was crisscross, but like each of us brought different people. I mean, some of you guys wouldn't be here if it wasn't for one of those two, and some of my audience wouldn't be. Oh, I guess they don't watch those two anymore anyway. Oh. Now, in fairness, they're both still making videos. Well, at least Chris is. They didn't quit YouTube or anything. It just this particular stream is so. And now I'm behind again. So time is relevant. You can slot it how you want. Well, again, and I mean, like at the point that all of you guys are used to tuning in at this particular time on Sunday, to adjust it could cause havoc with you guys. So there's Poppy Ron. Hi, Poppy Ron. Everybody's safe and healthy on this side so far. Knock on simulated wood. But yeah, so like maybe what I have to do is like I'll like you guys who would be interested in being on the show, like maybe we do a week with you as a guest host, and if we don't clash, like if I don't hate you, then we can set up something more on a permanent basis. I mean, we can go back to the same format. It is definitely nice having somebody to talk to that speaks back, that you don't have to read. So yeah, I can check my DMs. I'm that smart. Like I don't know how to check a DM. Absolutely, James. If that works for you, man, I'm all over that. I already know that we don't clash. I just know that your schedule is crazy as well. So, Tony Ryan, you're in church right now. You're watching the stream in church. And why are you in church? Social distancing, man. It's a lot of work, Paul. Having a YouTube channel is a ton of fun, but it is a ton of work. Church of Fun King. I would also watch this stream if I was in church. Little headphone in there, like. Oh yeah, that's Chris Riley would always be like, "Well, did you watch my stream today?" I'm like, "Nah, I was at church." I gotta say though, this staying home thing now, like I watched the church service on Facebook. I hate Facebook. Man, do I hate Facebook. But yeah, this not going out in public is my dream. It's wonderful not going out in public. It's so nice to see all of you guys. I really, I'm really bummed that that Murph had to be postponed, because I was looking forward to seeing everybody, and like I mean, we only get together like twice a year, but I'm actually glad that it got postponed, because a lot of people weren't going to show, so then not everybody would have been there. So it's it's cool that it got pushed so that we have a chance that everybody can be there again. So tell you how I really feel about Facebook. I will always tell you how I feel about Facebook. Oh, is it next Saturday? Really? I got the email yesterday, Chris. I did mention it earlier, but I guess I should quit procrastinating and actually look into it. And as an only child, I've been practicing this for 58 years. And as Mad Mike 8 says, don't forget to hit the like button, folks. If you like what I'm doing, please hit that subscribe button and ring the bell for notifications. A thumbs up is always appreciated as well. Oh, I always get the emails from Slice Engineering, man. We're like family. They're like an hour away from me, so. Hey, I just noticed that there's a 3D printer on your bench. Doesn't look, actually, it looks a lot like the FK1, only smaller. Same colors, same materials. You know, again, for those of you who miss it, the FK1 almost made it back up here today. I got the table all cleared off for it, but I had to shoot a video this afternoon with the big announcement that's coming out this week. I can't wait. You guys have no idea how hard it is to not tell you guys the news, but you got to wait till the video comes out. Who made them? This one is actually Hatchbox yellow. It's like way bright. This is Hatchbox. This is a very dirty maker coin, but this is Fun King 3D yellow made by IC 3D. Thanks to Sean. It's true, Sean. I'm finally a man. Yes, there's a video coming. There's a video coming out this week. I have to edit it. I'm shooting for like Wednesday or Thursday, or because I procrastinate, maybe Friday. Big news, man. Big news. Completely different direction for Fun King 3D. Joe Paddock in the house. Hi, Joe. It's funny. I'm not even really a fan of yellow. Like I never ever like somebody. What's your favorite color? Yellow? No. My favorite color is actually red. But because of the Fun King face, it just turned into being black and yellow. So, and now I have so many spools of yellow filament. Now you have to trick David into making an FK yellow PLA. Actually, 3D Fuel. Which it's not this one. 3D Fuel's, I think this is the Workday PLA. I have to look again because they have three different. They have a Pro PLA, a Workday PLA, and then a and I feel bad for not being able to remember what their other one is. But they sent me samples of their yellows, and that thing is almost spot on. And I know it's very difficult to make a PLA and a PETG the same color, but that's close. I mean, that is close. So yeah, Tom, that's it, man. That's the big announcement. Fun King is going to 2 dimensions. I'm only going to print on paper from here on out. Okay, everyone, I can take a hint. Everyone wants Chris to stream with Glenn, but not me. Why? What are people saying? Sorry, Carl, you're getting like muscled out, man. I don't even know. New direction, you actually going to print something? I print a lot of things. I just don't show you guys. I mean, just this week alone, I saved my wife's sewing project by printing what is that thing called? A bias tape maker. Because Amazon doesn't feel that that's an essential product, and she needed it for making the masks for the healthcare workers. And so a quick trip online, and not to Thingiverse because it takes forever to get through Thingiverse, but that little guy right there was like 18 minutes to print, and then the material goes through there and it makes this, which is, the strap. So 3D printing in a very practical manner. So yeah, Paul, that thing that you made, that's down in Zach's room. See, people like you, Carl. I'll move to 3D Fuel. Great guys. Absolutely. Well, it's not that I've moved to 3D Fuel. Sean, you know me better than that. I go wherever the people are willing to take good care of me. I'm a little bit of a hoe that way. But no, I'm building a good relationship with 3D Fuel. I like those guys. I like their filament. So unfortunately, the IC3D PLA yellow is just too orange. And so I went on a quest to find it. So now I just got to get somebody to actually put the name on it. So Carl wants to know how many more copies to finish my Mondo rifle. Fun Night 3D. She doesn't, she's actually been on camera before. She joined me on stream the first ERF 2 years ago, when we were on our way home and we got to the hotel in Washington, D.C. Xander and I started a live stream and she came in and sat on it. That's, I think, the only time that she's ever been on any of the videos, but it's because she doesn't understand any of this stuff, so then she doesn't want to. But she does a lot in the background. Didn't mean it like that at all. I did. Oh, Fun King Family Sundays. Fun King Family Friendly Sundays. She says she wouldn't know what to talk about. She's doing good, Paul. Filament question. Does anyone know of the filament that is a matte, dark green color? It's an art color like terracotta. I do not, but somebody might. We see her arm periodically delivering cake or pizza. Yes, yes. She also bring me a drink once in a while. So James, in response to, I like that I get to respond to your DMs, just by telling you. I don't have to type. I mean, if you think that works, man. In fact, I mean, I don't know how quickly it works for you, but anytime, like now. We only got 40 minutes left, but it's also weird not having to look here. I should just put the chat over here so I'm looking this way because I don't need to see myself. As where before I always had to see Walter and Chris, but at least this way I'm not looking off to the side. I can look towards you, look through you, look past you, look deeply into your soul. Oh, I'm going to spend my whole afternoon reading DMs. Yeah, we can definitely look into that, Martin. Yes. I didn't realize that this time slot was so valuable. Maybe I should auction it off. I lost the chat. There we go. Oh, and if you guys haven't tried this new Gatorade Zero, no sugar, it's pretty awesome. You know, Gatorade, feel like, you know, throwing a little sponsorship my way. Try Filicube PLA 3D printing filament for a green. That's not the standard green. Yeah, greens are hard. I haven't printed a lot of green. AIO Robotics, I like their green in PLA, but it's just green. It's not. Rhino Reels green was a little bit pale, but I don't think you can get that anymore because they closed up shop. Here is, and this is still sealed in a bag, so I can't really. Oh, that's not the right camera. This is, I guess I do need the camera. This is atomic filament. That's their green. There's also, oh, that's yellow. That's. I know that Josh from Alien 3D's got a couple of greens as well. Yeah, I guess I do need to see the camera once in a while. That camera angle is scary. The overhead, this one? Wow, what's scary about that? You can see all my clutter over here. My clutter over here, the stuff that's just outside of the range of the regular camera. Yep, probe the news. There you go. Yeah, Paul, what was that? What was that army green? That olive drab? Go powder your head. No. You know, it's funny. I have 2 additional lights above my head that I have the bulbs unscrewed out of because it put too much shine on my head. Yeah, but what brand? Do you remember, Paul? Do you remember what brand that was? Because the sample that you had sent me was just in just a Ziploc bag, so I didn't get any information with it. I don't have it anymore because I had printed something with it. So, and then this is one of my favorite, if not my absolute favorite, AIO color. This is their bright green, which I had a cool little dragon printed with that, but it got broken at Maker Faire. Because kids are rough with stuff, man. And their parents let them. They just let them like bang all my stuff on the table. Sorry, I'm still moving windows around. Material also have an olive kind of green. Yeah, that material is nice too. Their red is a really good red. It's not orangey, which is an issue that I have with most reds. is that they're very orangey in color. So another reason that I've always liked AIO's red, but 3D Fuels fire engine red is awesome. Well, I was going to show you the fire hydrant again, but again, still in the bins in the garage from November when I took it to Maker Faire. Yeah, this whole mess better be over by then so that Orlando Maker Faire can take place, or I'm going to be really, really sad. I was looking through the samples that went out in the Maker box last year, like physically looking through the samples or looking through the list of the samples. Man, I got Maker box upon Maker box upon Maker box, just everywhere. I have so much filament samples. In fact, I have boxes of samples. Nope, that's not it. Yeah, like I started to, like I went through at one point and took out all the PETG samples and put them together and all the PLA samples and put them together and then started to sort them that way. A lot of those boxes are empty because I put them elsewhere, but I gotta find projects for all this. What I hate is when you get a filament that's really nice, like real pretty or whatever, I can't just print junk with it. Like I need to save that for a special item, and then I never end up finding that right item for it. Show 'em from a skewed view gave me a roll of iron PLA, and it's heavy. I mean, it's heavy and very magnetic. I've yet to find the perfect print for that, and I don't want to just waste it. It has to be the right print. So, oh yeah, that's right, Carl. I remember that now. In fact, if I am not mistaken, well, I must be mistaken. I thought I had, oh yeah, I have it still hung on my pegboard. That used to be my backdrop for the studio. Right here. I remember them doing this because it was a huge ordeal for them to get all of these done and ready. Because you figure, you know, like at 1,000 Maker boxes, that's a lot of printing. So, but clear and white and different shades of gray, and there is definitely an olive drabby green. I think Paul said that was Maker Geeks. Yeah, Maker Geeks, which I gotta say, thank God they're finally gone. But I don't necessarily ever want to badmouth the company, like to the point where I say, oh, you know, they need to fail because I don't like them. That's not the case at all. That company had terrible customer service and took a lot of people for a ride. Maker Geeks. So, but so yeah, now if you're looking for an olive drab because you can't get it from Maker Geeks anymore, there you go. Material. Material still available through Printed Solid. You know, now that they're doing their own, now that Dave's doing his own filament, he doesn't need them stinking outside companies anymore. No, there you go, Carl. Perfect example. That box, that roll of filament is still sitting in the bottom of my filament cabinet right there because that needs the just right model. When I got this fire engine red 3D fuel, I wasn't sure what to print with it. And Mr. Butcham said, hey, print that fire hydrant that I designed. And that was the perfect model for that. So that's it. It just sits. Most of what I print is either crap that's going to get thrown away eventually or given away at a Maker Faire, or practical stuff, which then doesn't matter really what color it is. So it's Graft Milk PLA Art Filament Fig Leaf. Wow. Oh, that one that you sent me, they don't make anymore? Oh, maybe I'll sell it and buy a new printer. Wouldn't that be funny if Filament, if like Filament became the next Beanie Baby, where when you have something, there's no more polyalchemy? I didn't know that. Ooh. Well, it just so happens that I have these samples of all these different polyalchemies. Highest bidder gets them. Yeah, I don't like when good companies go away. Can't get PLA, so he's not making anymore. Ah, that's really sad. I didn't know that either. Huh, that's very interesting. I dug out some samples that were over a year old to use, and they just crumbled. Yeah, I've had that. I've had that happen too. They get too much moisture in them, and then they get brittle. Yeah, but if you can't produce what they were producing, the brand name's not going to do you any good. I mean, if all of a sudden you're like, hey, I got some polyalchemy here, people are gonna be like, nah. I mean, the name wasn't it. It was the beauty of that filament. So that's really sad. I didn't know that. Or maybe I did, and I just didn't remember. Well, I didn't even end up firing up my printer, but at least I had it sitting here where I could, rub elbows with it. Fargo 3D printing, they have Army Green in. Well, and again, if you can reproduce what they were making, then it would be worth it. Yeah. Protopasta is closed. Yeah. Well, until April 6th at this point, unless they push them longer. I feel bad for those guys. But again, if you're needing filament and you can't get it through your normal sources, Printed Solid is still in operation and cranking out filament, plus whatever stock that they have. And 3D Fuel has ramped up production to get more out. So that's the only two that I've heard from or about so far. Dan said, I'm so happy. I believe I have I'm assuming that's the monoprice Mini Delta working again. Well, yeah, Tom. I mean, if you're going to be like sitting around social distancing yourself, you might as well come up with some new filament colors. I don't know. I haven't, and I'll call them out here. The communication from IC3D has not been the same since Sean left. I know Ryan took over the media, the social, being the social guy, but I just don't see the updates from them that used to come out. So I don't know at what capacity they're operating. So So if polyalchemy can't get raw PLA, how is everybody else getting it? I mean, I know that there was a shortage, but how is everybody else able to produce filament? Thank you, Mike, for being here. I really, really appreciate it. It helps my ego. Yeah, definitely everybody be safe out there, even if you don't hit the like button. I mean, I want you to hit the like button, but I'd rather you be safe. If it's a one or the other deal, but again, with a shortage of, I didn't know if it was, I said shortage because I didn't know if that's really what it was, if it was a shortage or if it was just a demand issue or if it was going somewhere else. But how is everybody else still producing filament? He's so small that all manufacturers that can get it don't want to share with him because he's not buying enough quantity. "41 viewers and only 22 likes. Boy, you guys are lazy. Let me put the like button link right in the chat." And don't forget that that my son and former cohort, who doesn't join me anymore, will be streaming 30 minutes after this stream ends. I don't know what his plan is for tonight. I think he's down eating dinner right now, but he's always doing something gaming related. Can't get him to do anything 3D print related anymore, but by buying from China or knowing someone. Yeah, well, maybe all of these, maybe all of the smaller companies need to join forces, like get together and buy like a massive quantity and then just divvy it up. Of course, I guess with the weight of that stuff and the bulk that you'd have to buy, logistics would be a little bit tough on that. It's all right. I'll figure it out. I'll solve the world's problems. Cat turned. Hey, nuthead, everybody's trying to watch you. I'll have to get a cat cam and just put a cam right on her. But she does play fetch. And she likes my wife's hair bands, those rubbery hair bands. So she'll bring me one of those, and then I shoot it, and she runs and gets it and brings it back. And then I have one cat that will high five for treats at night, and then she shakes. Like I put my hand out, and she gives me her paw. So my new co-host, yeah, at least she talks less than the other two. She has the same coloring as my dog. Well, she thinks she's a dog. Well, it's funny because the other two were actually raised around German Shepherds and Great Danes. They spent like the first year of their life with big dogs. So one of them wags her tail like a dog, and then the other one jumps up on you and wants you to pick her up like a dog, which we thought was funny. And then we get this one, and she plays fetch. So all of our cats are dogs. Looks like IC3D is busy printing face masks according to their webpage. Well, that's good. I mean, I would assume then that they're still working. They're there. I mean, printing doesn't mean you're standing around doing just that. It's push the button and walk away. So then maybe they're still producing filament. In the meantime, 3D Solutech Ultra PLA is also very shiny. You just have to print it hot to get good layer adhesion. That also makes it really shiny. I end up printing hotter than most anyway. I have a lot of conversations back and forth with people, mainly about AIO robotics, because it was one of the first filaments that I ever really endorsed, and purely because I love the way that stuff prints. And people are, I just recently had someone tell me that it was stringy at 205, and I'm like, well, I always print at 215. Like I always print hotter than everybody else, and not because that's what I found works the best, but because it just worked and I stuck with that. So for 3 years I've been printing hotter than everybody else does, but my prints come out nice and they're tough. So I do have to figure out a dehydrator, though. I got to get a dehydrator and convert it for filament, because I've gotten a little bit slacky about putting my filaments away, and then I end up with a lot of stringing because it gets wet. So, Paul, monoprice filament, I forget who makes it, but I mean, it's like a standard PLA. It does fine. But you don't have to use monoprice filament on your monoprice printer. So just keep that in mind. AIO is still making filament to the best of my knowledge. They opened their market up overseas as well. Win Robotics. Win Robotics, I think, is what they call their over the seas company. So Scott, you print 215, 216, whatever it takes. That's right. 220, 221. Scott, you print at 215 to 220 for standard PLAs? I've been burning through printed solid Jesse filaments by the 2.3K spools. I think I've gone through about 5,000 in the last week. Yeah, I don't have that much stuff to print. That is a big speed bump that I'm running into right now, is that I don't want to just print to print. I don't want to print any more trinkets because I don't do anything with them. I've gotten to the point now where I take them to Maker Faire and give them away to the kids. So like I need to find something that I can print that's useful but also fun. So, hey Aaron, it's been a while. Things are going well. Welcome to the new, I don't even know what I'm going to call this stream, and it's actually, if I'm going to add people back into it, it's going to change. But today's is, fun in my rural upstairs, but it's the replacement to fun in the country basement. So, is the ANET A6 3D printer all right? 3D printer? Yeah, they were all right. The A8 was always a little bit better, but the A6 is all right as far as it goes. But if you're going to buy new, I would go with an Ender 3, a Creality Ender 3. You're going to be in the same money, but you're going to get a much better, more stable, strong printer. I printed a whole new Pumpkin King printer out of Jesse PLA. Retina's burning orange. Dude, we should model like a Pumpkin King head that can be worn. That'd be fun. That's something that I've been poking at lately that I really want to start doing is not necessarily cosplay to a full, but helmets. I want a Stormtrooper helmet. I want a TIE Fighter pilot helmet. I want a lot. I want an Iron Man helmet. I want a Fallout 4 T60 power armor helmet. That one I'd like to do like really do it up. Actually have the rubber hoses and stuff on it. So 220 to 215 with the nozzle X. Well, and that, I think that might be a lot too of where I started up in my temperatures, because I went to a hardened nozzle and everybody's like, you need more temperature. And I'm like 215 and it worked. And then I left it. So look at Sergio's all fancy. He uses 215 on the first layer and then cools it at 210 for the rest. I don't. I just like one temperature. Let it stick. Yes, I know. I'm such a diva, Carl. I want. The problem is when you print stuff like that, you really need to take the time of, to prime it and sand it and finish it, which I don't really have the time for. I bought an airbrush like 3 years ago, and I've never even taken it out of the box. Somebody had given me an airbrush compressor, and so I went out and bought an airbrush, and then I've never even tried it. I'm not very artsy that way, but it's still something I'd like to learn. I can paint a car. I've just never tried an airbrush. So. Well, it looks like the general consensus is everybody prints up at the temperatures I print. You guys are a bunch of copycats. But you always see on the filaments, prints 190 to the few times that I've tried printing that cold, it just didn't go well. And I've never printed a filament, like a normal PLA. I've never printed it at the 210 or 215 range and had it not work where I had to cool it down. So, and then my PETG, which I mainly print IC3D PETG, I print at 260 degrees because that just works. Except for that purple one that you sent me, Sean, that turned out to be gray until you told me to print it cooler, which was kind of cool. But well, I didn't spend a lot of money on it, Aaron. Again, I got the compressor for free, and then I just bought a Harbor Freight brand, cheapy airbrush. But the old saying of putting lipstick on a pig, I think that's what it would look like if I tried to airbrush something, because I have no painting talent whatsoever. So I might try that, man. High nap roller. I actually helped my dad paint a truck one time with a brush and roller, and then we took a feather duster and dipped it in paint and feather dusted all over the truck to give it this this unique look. My sister one time painted my father's van and dipped their hands in yellow paint and put yellow handprints and footprints all over the van. That was while he was on vacation. Yeah, that was a good surprise when he got home. Are you printing PLA too cool? No. If it works for you, then no. I'm not saying that I'm right. I am, but no. The thing is, there's a reason that every filament has a range. There's a reason that filaments don't come with a sticker that says print this at 205 degrees with a 60-degree bed, because every printer is different to begin with. Then it's going to depend on your environment. If the room is colder, you're going to need more heat to hold it. So yeah, no, it's not that you're doing it wrong, man. If it works for you, don't. But I mean, I guess I should be more open to try as well, But again, I've played with a couple filaments and tried cooler, and it just, I don't know, it didn't go as well. It didn't look as nice. Layer adhesion. So 215 just works, and that's just kind of where I stay. I've never printed a temp tower for any filament. And I know people swear by temp towers, but ever review the Snapmaker all-in-one? Nope. Not even familiar with that. Normally I print PLA at 200, some silk at 208 and 210. Yeah, it's funny. Like, I've never printed anything at 208. Like, I always got to go to that next hard number. I'd never try something at, like, instead of 260 going down to 259. It would either be 255 or 260 to me. Like, that could just be the OCD, but I don't know. I've just never tried dialing it in that tightly, but Carl says if you break a print and it snaps perfectly on the layer line, then yes, otherwise no. That's a good point too, Carl Zimmerman. Thermistor can be off by plus or minus 5 degrees. Need that temp tower. Not gonna happen. Not gonna waste my time printing a temp tower. I'm just gonna print whatever it was, and if it's not durable, I'll just print another one. $212 is my. See, how do you get to $212, man? See, if $210 didn't work, I'd go to $215. So I don't do $210. It's too hard of a number. Yeah, I created in my slicer. I created a profile for AIO Robotics PLA, and that's pretty much the profile I use for every PLA that I print with, which is 215 degrees, 60-degree bed. See, I see stringing as a decoration. It makes it more like a Halloween type print. Yeah, I did PID tune my printers. So thank you for being here, Paul. You stay safe, brother. Well, polyalchemy is definitely, yeah. Well, not only that, but it'll change the shine. I found that speed too, even the speed with polyalchemy made a difference in what it looked like. When are we going to start making our own filaments? I don't know. That takes a lot of equipment. It's much easier for me to just like spend a year begging a company to put my name on a filament. And they don't, but at least they made the right color. Yeah. It's just nice to know too that I now have a PLA that's really, really close. I mean, if you hold them up side by side, you can tell the difference. But I mean, if you know what you're doing anyway, you can touch PETG and touch PLA and tell the difference. So that is true. You do have the know-how. We just have to get the machinery and the space to do it. I mean, I got a big old garage, but it's dirty, man. It's dirty out there. Yeah, Aaron, I got just like boxes and I had it just like piled in corners around the room, but stuff just stacks up and stacks up. And then every time that we'd go to a maker fair, I'd load all the stuff into the totes to display it. Well, this last year, back in November, I started giving the stuff away, and Xander's like, "Don't give that stuff away." I'm like, "We're never gonna do anything with it, and I can make another one if I need it." So like the kids would pick it up. "Oh, this is cute," and I'm like, "You can have that." And Xander's like, "That's mine, not anymore." Well, that's what business loans are for, man. Of course, it'd be a lot more fun if the community bought us a line. Yeah, really, Sean. Go bang on Dave's door and be like, "Man, I got nowhere to go." Just put your stuff in the car and drive away. Just do it, man. Or come here, live in Florida. You can shack up with Shane. Where's he been today? How come he didn't come in? Yeah. You know, we could start a new filament company that takes a different approach where every roll is a different color. Like not like, okay, this roll is going to be blue. It's just like, oh, this roll turned out to be this shade. I think they have to cool it at a certain rate. Sean will know, but no, Shane doesn't take a break from me. He's too busy telling manufacturers to get bent and only sell black filament consistently, or like crap brown. When you mix all the colors and it just always comes out brown. Oh yeah, that's Josh. Yeah, I worry about Josh too. Yeah, well then you don't have to worry about formulas. Like you don't have to worry about mixing. You can be like, well, today I'm going to just use this much of this color. Fluorescent brown's my favorite. I actually like fluorescent clear. No, that's a perfect analogy, Sean. Brown is a dark orange. That is true. I invented fluorescent brown as a joke. Oh, I've extruded fluorescent brown. Oh yeah, no, we're not handing out anything to kids at this point. No handouts right now. Don't even want to be around them little disease carriers. Yeah, so Zach starts homeschool, virtual school, whatever, tomorrow for the first time. So that's online school. Needless to say, I'm not excited about it. But of course, neither is Xander, because again, they only sit like 6 feet apart. And Zach, man, he just. So we'll see how that goes. I'm not even going to touch that, son. Literally, not going to touch it. Gotta watch what you eat. There you go, Sean. You got your ride, man. Scott said their kids finished their first week. It went fairly well. School district was actually halfway prepared. Do you have to teach them, or no? The schools are doing it over the internet. They have a portal that the kids actually log into in class. Sometimes, I mean, like their class isn't 100% computer, but and they've just made that available at home. And then there's all kinds of apps in there, like the different Google apps that they need and stuff. They just the big thing was they sent out a survey to see if kids had computers available to them to be able to do this, and if not, then they had ones that could come out on loan. And then it was kind of an eye opener for me, because the teacher sent out a message and said, the kids need to do this and this and this. And I realized that it seems like a lot, and that you may have other students in the house that need time on the computer too. And my wife and I had a discussion about that. Like the computer, each of my kids have a computer. I mean, they're not the greatest, but they each have a computer, and it's like, we're blessed, man. So that's just more work that my kids get to do now. Look at that. He's even going to give you a place to shack up, Sean. You could just live in the van, man, in the bus. Yeah, well, and then my work didn't change at all because I work from home anyway. The IT side of my job changed because now I'm supporting everybody else working remotely too. But my coworker Grant, who is the other estimator, who rents my apartment, so he's here now with his computer, which actually is easier on us because we're local to each other. But only if it's down by the river. Well, you can move it. You can move it down by the river. So, but yeah, no, I have the same exact amount of workload work-wise. It's not different to me at all. So, wow, that's awesome, Scott. I don't know if they asked about that. I don't know how I don't think that our community has that available. Now, of course, Comcast is giving out Wi-Fi, even if you're not a Comcast customer, Xfinity. You can actually get their app and log into their Wi-Fi, which their Wi-Fi comes from average Joe's routers. When you have the Comcast brand router, you're broadcasting an Xfinity network for them. But yeah, I'm a blessed essential as well. Yeah. I'm not sure why, but at least I still have a paycheck. So AT&T is giving out unlimited data, but you have to have an AT&T account, right? Because I thought that was funny too. For me to go unlimited data on my Comcast account, it was $50 a month, but I ended up just changing packages, which made it about the same. It was still about $50 more, but I got something else out of the deal, and I don't even remember what it was. But that's how impressive it was. So then I got an email from them saying that because they're giving unlimited data away, that I would get a credit on my bill. And I'm like, yeah, $50 a month. No, $12. I get $12 a month. And I'm like, wait a minute. But then I realized what they had done. So, yeah. Potteron said no change for them. They're retired. Well, there is a change for you. You can't go anywhere, man. No pools for you, man. No community pool for you. Yeah, mine doesn't share the signal because I changed my Comcast router over to being just a gateway, and I use my own router, so it shut off their anonymous leechy internet. Our company bumped everyone to the max allowed internet speed available for their area at no additional. Oh, that's a great way to rope people in after this is done. That's like giving you your first hit of crack for free. Oh, here's really fast internet. Oh, sorry, time's up. Go back to your slow, crappy internet that you were paying for. Oh, I never said I couldn't talk for 2 hours. I just wasn't sure if I could come up with 2 hours worth of topics, man. I can talk. There's no question about that. Are you trying to get rid of me? We hit the 2 hour mark. I believe Comcast does throttle those unlimited accounts at 1 terabyte. Not mine. I don't get throttled at all. And I use well more than 1 terabyte of data a month. All right, guys. Well, it is after the 6 o'clock hour. And as much as I would love to run this forever, I mean, I could continue to talk. There's no doubt about that. But I actually have to wrap it up because Xander will be going live in just about 25 minutes on youtube.com/peglegpaul, all one word. If you want to go over there and irritate him, that's always fun. He likes when people come into the chat and ask him a bunch of questions and disrupt his gameplay. Oh, so I do want to thank you guys for showing up. I got to admit, I was a little bit nervous about doing a stream by myself again because it's been so long. But of course, I'm not really by myself. I have all of you guys. When I seen the number watching before I hit that go live button, I was also a little nervous because it wasn't very big. But a good group of you guys came in, and you know what? The important people were here, and that's truly what matters. So it's not dark out yet. But thank you guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I know I always said it at the end of FKB streams, but you guys are the reason that I do this. Without you, it would be pointless. It would be me talking to myself, which is like every other day of the week around this house. But thank you guys for tuning in. We're going to do it again. We're going to do it again next Sunday. There's going to be some hiccups. We'll see what goes on. We'll see about adding some people in. Maybe we'll just have a rotating guest. I don't know. Maybe I'll find one good co-host, which I know that my brother James, if he is available, him and I definitely have great chemistry together. So much so that if it wasn't for the fact that we were both married, we'd probably just marry each other. So maybe James and I will set up, and then we'll have a rotating third guest in there. I don't know. I don't know what it's going to look like, but we're going to do it. More importantly, this week there's going to be a video coming out with a huge announcement of a direction that Fun King 3D is going in. And I can't wait for you guys to see it. And I can't wait to hear your feedback. So please, when the video releases, leave a comment in the video and let me know what you think. A lot of thought went into it. Some math crunching, but you'll see it. You'll understand when you see it. It's great. Huge. What day? Well, I'm kind of a procrastinator, so let's say Wednesday or Thursday, or maybe Friday. But I'll shoot for. I have an obligation tomorrow night to do brakes on a friend's car, and then I will try to get the editing done on Tuesday, so I should be able to release it on Wednesday. Otherwise Thursday. How about if I say Thursday the latest? I'll make you guys that promise. So my comment will be, it sucks because you made me wait. I don't care. You can comment whatever you want. It's still interaction. Oh, if you like what I'm doing and you haven't yet done it, hit that subscribe button. Thumbs ups are always appreciated as well. I tell you to ring the bell for notifications, but apparently it doesn't work anyway. But yeah, we are going to do this again next Sunday. Even on the days when I'm like tired and I don't really think that I feel like doing it, you guys make it well worth it. And then when I get done, I'm like, man, that was so much fun. I can't wait to do it again next time. So we'll try to have a little bit more 3D printing type content next week. But this was more of a catch up and chit chat, and I liked it. And it's my stream, so I can do that. I think that's all I got for you guys. Sergio says he got the notification. So now I got to figure out how to shut all this stuff off because, you know, it's different now. I'm alone. But no cool outgoing outros and all of that stuff. I'll probably just go to a splash screen and then be done with you guys. So thank you guys for tuning in. Love each and every one of you. Please, 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 please be safe. Don't do anything stupid out there. We're going to get all through this together, and we're going to be better people on the other side of it. Thanks, y'all. Print on.